Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Brenner coming to you with the Brenner Blast and the Brenner Breakdown for Saturday, March 17th. This month is flying by. We are in the middle of March Madness, and trust me, it is madness. It is going on. A number 16 beats a number 1. First time in history to see that. I had a split yesterday on the video picks. My only loss was the Toronto Raptors. I should know better than that. My God, that team's going to be... People that think... There's a lot of people saying, man, they're going to win the East. They're going to win the East. I think there's 3 teams right now that will handle that team if they have to face them, because Toronto is back to its old ways. I mean, barely pulling out a win. They're not showing up against lower-tiered teams. That's going to be a problem for them. And again, I think it all starts with coaching. Coach Dwayne Casey. Nice guy, but I think he's in the wrong job. All right, guys, we got to get back on track. We got to do it in a commanding way. Today, there's a ton of action. Hit me up at mikebrenner@gmail.com. You don't want to miss what we have for the big dance. I've got a pick here for the big dance, and I got an NBA pick, but boy, I got 2 other ones today that are going to be strong in NCAA. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get into it. Number 9, Bama taking on number 1, Nova. This is an early game. Bama squeaked by Virginia Tech. All right, they haven't reached the Sweet 16 since 2004. That's what's at stake here. All right, they're up-and-coming team, Avery Johnson coaching, but you're not up-and-coming enough to go up against this team. They pummeled Radford, Villanova did, 87-61. They shot 60% from the field. I think coaching wins this game. I'm putting my first pick out there right now with confidence. Pulling that trigger, baby. Villanova on the full game, -11. And then you got Duke this afternoon, about 2:30, taking on URI, Rhode Island. Number 2, Duke against number 7, URI. Duke is 8-2 ATS its last 10, so they're cashing in. They got Marvin Bagley III in beast mode. He's going to be a one and done, but this kid right now is just in that zone. 10 for 14 shooting, 22 points last game, and a big win over Iona, 89-67. And Coach K says he loves coaching that kid because you don't have to coach too much. He's very attentive. He's a leader, and for a youngster, that goes a long way. Duke favored over Rhode Island, who squeaked past Oklahoma in the overtime thriller on Thursday. I've got no call on that. Duke -9.5. All right, then you got Houston. All right, Houston taking on Michigan. This is going to be a dangerous game. This is later tonight. Coach Baleen for Michigan, he said that he just loves the energy that this team has. He loves the confidence that they have. But you're going up against the Houston team that's feeding off of that Houston strong. That's resonating still, all right? The Houston Astros proved it in baseball, and I'm telling you, Houston Cougars had an amazing year in college basketball. They're making basketball fun again, and I think today it's going to be an interesting game. This is going to be a 10-foot pole for me, but I will enjoy it as a fan. Michigan favored -3.5. Then you got Buffalo taking on Kentucky. All right, the line's -5.5, and there could be a reason. Buffalo is a scrappy team. They're a gritty team. They show up, and I know a lot of people say, oh, that's Buffalo. Well, tell you what, you better respect them. They get it done. This is the same team that just believes in itself, and when that happens this time of year, that could be dangerous. Kentucky's been up and down all year. 78-73 win over Davidson. They didn't hit 1 3-pointer in that game, first time since 1988. Are they going to try to light it up today? I don't know. Kentucky -5.5 against Buffalo. No call on that. Then you got Loyola Chicago, number 11, taking on Tennessee. All right, Loyola Chicago had a buzzer beater to beat Miami 64-62 the other day. Let's not forget, this team has won 18 out of 19 games, so they're coming in almost the hottest team in basketball. And they beat the Florida Gators along the way this year, and Florida is a stout defensive team. Tennessee, though, wow, what a difference a couple years makes. Rick Barnes comes down from Texas and has just done an amazing job. This team rolled Wright State 73-47. They've won 7 of 8 overall this season. And Coach Rick Barnes has his team believing. It's -5.5. That could be a battle. I'm staying off at Tennessee favored, -5.5. Then you got Seton Hall, guys. Seton Hall taking on number 1 Kansas. Seton Hall beat North Carolina State, excuse me, 94-83. Khadeed Carrington, all right, he leads the way for the Pirates. This talented young man, they go as he goes. But I got news for you. Kansas isn't North Carolina State. There's just so much talent there. The team, I feel, has underachieved a little bit. But can they pull it together and do it when they need it most? It didn't look like it last game. They were losing by 10 in the first half against Penn before coming out in that second half. Seton Hall's going to be ready for this. I'm staying off it. Kansas favored -4.5. Then you got Ohio State taking on Gonzaga. Two teams that are not ATS sharp whatsoever right now, but this could be a battle. No call. Gonzaga -3.5. All right. And again, we have one pick. Already put it out there. Villanova Wildcats, baby, on that full game, -11. All right, let's get into some NBA because I got an NBA pick as well. Got a lot of teams banged up, guys. Cleveland at Chicago, no line out. All right. That is definitely a big time game to where you got injuries on both sides. Chicago trying to play spoiler. Cleveland's trying to find some kind of mojo before the playoffs, but all banged up. But I'm telling you, Cleveland's watching. If they get Kevin Love back, Toronto won't have a shot against that team. And Toronto, they proved it again last night. Struggling, baby, going into overtime. All right, no line on that one. Then you got Minnesota taking on the Spurs. Minnesota 40-29 on the year. Spurs 39-30. There's a lot of playoff implication here. Different team without Butler, Minnesota is. But they're still stepping up on defense. Tom Thibodeau said he's very impressed with that. We'll see what happens. The Spurs been up and down all year, full of drama as well. No call. Spurs are favored by 4. And you got Denver taking on Memphis 38-31 this year. Denver is. Memphis 18-50. They just want to go home. They just want to end the season. But the roster's finally healthy again, so we'll see what happens there. Denver, it's a huge game. I said it on a couple videos ago. Mike Malone, they got to get these guys knowing how to play on the road and coming back with some W's. There's no line out yet. No call on that one. Denver at Memphis. Then you got Atlanta at Milwaukee, okay? Oh, wow, this could be a critical game. Milwaukee fighting for a spot, favored by 11 at home against a pesky Atlanta team that as long as Mike Budenholzer's coaching, they won't quit. They will not quit. It's -11, got no call on that. Milwaukee, -11 at home. Here's another interesting one, a lot of playoff implications. Indiana, 40-29 on the year, taking on the 39-30 Washington Wizards. Really been some teams, been up and down. You got injuries that have dealt with a lot of it. Sabonis will be out today for Indiana, so keep that in mind. Teams are battling for position. No call. Washington, favored -3. Then you got Houston taking on New Orleans. Houston, a 3-game lead in the West for the #1 spot. Here's the kicker. Golden State, all right, their injury list is huge, all right, and I guarantee you Steve Kerr's not worried about #1 seed. Hell with that. Let's get guys healthy. So I think Houston's going to realize that too, and you may see Houston rest some players also, playing at a very stout New Orleans team. Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo. They picked up Miratek, a very good pickup. This team could be dangerous. I'm not touching it. Houston, -7.5. Golden State at Phoenix. This is, I mean, I'm telling you, the injury list for both these teams combined damn near looks like an NFL roster. They got so many guys out, I think they're going to call the peanut stand guy, hey, come on out here and play some ball tonight. I don't know. No call on it. There's no line out yet. Golden State at Phoenix. And then our one play that we do have, it's a late game, Portland versus Detroit, okay? Portland is playing so well, it's critical that they continue to peak at the right time. They have got to stay in this mode, and it all starts with you-know-who. That's right, Damian Lillard. Detroit, this team's going to be dismantled at the end of the year from the coaching staff all the way down to the big guys. They brought in Blake Griffin, hoping to make the playoffs. Him and Drummond are holding their own, but there's no talent around them. There's nobody else around that those two that can help that team go to the next level. We're going to pull that trigger, baby, with the Portland Trail Blazers on the first half, -4.5. All right, guys, it's going to be an early day. This video's up a little late. Let's get it in. 2 picks. Villanova on the full game, -11. And in the NBA, Portland Trail Blazers on that first half, -4.5. The weekend's here. It's the second round of the big dance. Don't miss the big dance, but make sure you're still trying to spend some family time. Sit down with the kids. Have them watch the game with you. Bring the wife in as well. All right, because family is first on this team. Bet responsible, guys. Beat your bookie and build that bank with Brenner as we're going to bounce back hard today. We're going to have a great day. I feel it. And do me a favor, YouTube viewers, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for the negative comments and the naysayers, it's okay. Throw it on Brenner's back. I can handle it, baby. All right, let's get it done. You guys deserve a great day. I'm going to pull through today. Let's just absolutely come out on top. All right, don't forget the Brenner Blast and the Brenner Breakdown is coming to you, baby.